Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to touch on the StatsCan report that's going to be out at 7:30, and then the estimates from the USDA. I'm not going to have the actual numbers. I'll post them for the StatsCan tomorrow. But I came across this article, and it's an opinion post, so the headline kind of explains it all. Carney gets caught between China and the U.S. over cars and canola, and the worry is that because U.S. is actually the number one uh, trade partner with Canada on canola, and China is only second. Now China is basically absent. It's actually putting them in a pretty tough spot. I just highlighted this area here because it reminds me of a Chrétien moment. On the other hand, on one hand, and then on the other, talking out both sides of your mouth, the Chrétien moment. Some people might get that, but maybe others might not. So back to the StatsCan here. This is the one I'm paying the most attention to because this is what the number that they had just a month ago for the stocks, and if it's anywhere close to that, or even this number here, the average number is probably still going to be pretty burdensome. So if it's all above, let's call it closer to 2.5 to 3, it's going to put pressure on the market, still pressured downward, but just keep your eye on that one because they wore egg on their face pretty good last year when they constantly had to revise the ending stocks up. So on the USDA, watching this number here, the corn yield and on the soybean yield as well. But this is not a survey base. They're actually going out and actually counting pods and ears. The USDA is so, and I think it's partly survey, but there's also going to be the actual counting, and I'm in the camp because you see this wide differential between the low and the high. If it's stuck right at the middle, or are we going to get back to the lower end of this? So let's say just above trend line yield of the 181 kind of thing could push this market around. So you're looking at, as a result of that, ending stocks on the corn and soybeans. Not as concerned about these numbers as the old crop numbers are actually moving in pretty tight. Now on the world stage, I constantly watch the wheat number, and that number is going up, but how much is it going to go up as we see some harvest with increasing numbers in the northern hemisphere and good growing conditions. The crop progress is the only thing that I'm going to highlight here is the 4% harvested, and so harvest has begun. And I guess the second thing is the spring wheat is moving along as well. So Trump is going to get have a block or whatever. There's a senator, Republican senator from Utah, is introducing legislation on Tuesday to block President Trump from shifting renewable fuel blending obligations from small to large ones. And it sounds like there's a feel that the market is going to have some sort of announcement, and then all of a sudden, the most litigious country in the world is actually going to have some lawsuits. No kidding. Oil rises on modest OPEC hike. Russia supply of concern. So there's three main items here. Like the China is stockpiling, or they're going to continue to stockpile. The OPEC is understood that they're actually going to increase at a smaller pace than what they set out, and that the sanctions are going to come on in a bigger way on Russia. So the oil prices have not reacted to the downside because of this kind of stuff. Stocks upbeat, Fed outlook offset French uncertainty. So the French government had a non-confidence vote over their basic debt crisis, and the market's kind of stabilized as if this didn't really happen. Stock market futures muted ahead of the payroll benchmark, and there's a revision that comes out sometime this morning that is going to slash possibly another 1 million jobs. And if that does happen, it's going to put even more emphasis to maybe get to a 50 basis point trim on interest rates pretty quick. Just looking at the weather, there's very little rain showers going across here, and you can see that we do get some unsettled in the prairies, but there's not as much that's going to hold this up. You can see the temperatures are going to just build in the corn growing area or corn soybean growing area. So for the next week and beyond, and that is just going to speed up harvest here. This is a 2-week kind of a look. It looks like into the not this week, but more into next week, we're going to have more unsettled rainy weather, not showing up big amounts, but it's still going to be slowing down our harvest. Here's just a quick look of the frost that we've gotten over the last 7 days, and it could be trimming yield on some of those green plants if we continue to get that kind of stuff. Just a quick look at the market. Canola is down just slightly, and rapeseed is up. Soybean oil is just basically unchanged. Crude oil is still ratcheting up a little wee bit. The soybeans are just up a penny, and the wheats are on both sides of just slightly down to basically unchanged. Canadian dollar is up a little wee bit as well. So just having a look at canola, you can see that like we're just basically consolidating to just up from the lowest lows that we've seen in the last little bit, but still in this downward trend. Same thing with European rapeseed, and European rapeseed is still in the middle of this downward channel, and looks like we're going to be approaching its March lows here, and it doesn't look like a trend reversal there at all. The price of canola or European rapeseed in Canadian dollars and the differential, we're $125 right now. Still could encourage some movement of the Canadian canola in that direction if we indeed lose 100% of the Chinese market for the whole year. Soybean oil has broken down below my trend line. There could be that move down to the 200-day moving average, but it's we could just see it move back up. It's possible, but the trend breaking the trend still looks like it may be a little bit burdensome on the soybean oil. Soybean futures consolidating here, so if there's a part of that complex that's going to hold, it looks like it could be the soybeans, but palm oil futures still on this upward trajectory to try to get to this high that it's made there. Crude oil futures, like I said, it's basically on the bottom end of the trend, not really believing that there's going to be any substantial increases, which would potentially move it down into this range over here as well, down in the 50s, but it doesn't look like it's going to do that. Canadian dollar, basically a nothing sandwich, but there's also the, I think it's September 17th, there could be another 25 basis point decrease. The US dollar index just basically chopping sideways, but the trend just on the last few days is down. Have a look at wheat. Finally, we get to talk about some possibility that this is a reversal here. Feels like it could be. Kyle had mentioned not necessarily wanting to re-own this, but be patient on maybe adding some more sales. But if we've got sales on, we could look at some sort of structure here, maybe a call structure, or just go straight long here. Same thing with Kansas. Kansas engulfed all 4 of those red days previous. And if we can continue that trend and get above this short-term moving averages and get into that range, love to be able to get back up to that trend line. Same thing with Chicago, even though it's been chopping around sideways more than the other wheats. Here's your French milling wheat. It's still well within that trend. And what's contrary to all of that is the corn. And if it breaks out, we've definitely got room to probably get to that area up there. There's also a gap here that's not filled as well. So look to fill that gap at some point in time on that corn as well. Your cattle futures, looks like it's topped out on both of them. And we'll chat with you tomorrow.